Good morning, everybody. Welcome on into the Sketch Time. My name is Jason Sketch, and I'm super excited to be here with you guys. We are going to be doing some Ant-Man versus Nebula. You can see it, Nebula now. And I'm pretty excited. I have never faced Nebula myself, so this will just make things a little bit more interesting. And it should be a lot of fun. So I've got an aggression build that I want to try, and we're just going to try to see how well things kick off this morning. And it might be a little bit slower because I'm learning Nebula, but it should be a lot of fun. So let's put that there. And she should also have one more. There it is. Beautiful. All right. I'll put this Nebula ship environment into play. And the Milano supports, which is here. We got Pursued by the Past, which I'll put up here. We'll put this ship next to Ant-Man for now, and we'll kind of go from there. Attach the Power Stone to Nebula. Discard the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. Then attach each. Take attachment and discard this way to Nebula. Okay, cool. So we need to find the Power Stone first, and then we will shuffle up her deck. This is actually attached to Nebula, so we'll put it right to the right of her there. For now, beautiful. All right, and let's shuffle up the deck. How's everybody doing this morning? Hope you're doing swell. I'm excited about this. I'm also a little nervous because, like, I've never faced this villain. But, you know, that's part of the beauty of the game, right, is getting to test some stuff out, so getting to try new things. And this is the last aspect that I need to be able to possibly do a review on Ant-Man, which might sound a little weird because Ant-Man's been out for a couple of years. But those of you that are new to the game that are looking for just some old Avengers that are a lot of fun, I'd love to get to do some of those reviews for you as well. So I figure Ant-Man might be a great place to start. Sorry, my doggy is getting a little itch out of her collar there. And we'll go from there. But Ant-Man is a pretty powerful hero in the first place. And a lot of fun to play. I've really been enjoying him overall. So I definitely think he's one of my top 3 Avengers to play. My other ones being Black Widow and I almost want to say Tony Stark. I really need to go back and look at the list of Avengers because Thor's a lot of fun depending on how you play him. Captain America, it's just classically fun. But I've never been like uber impressed with him every time I play with him. Like I've been like, oh yeah, this is what Cap does. He's good. But again, like I forget about Spider-Woman as an Avenger. And she is actually pretty stinking fun. So, she's definitely on my list of heroes to continue to try. So, alright. Okay. You're just going to stick like that, aren't you? Cool. Alright. That's fine. There we go. That's what happens when you have fresh sleeves, I guess, so no big deal. All right. Looks like some of my stuff shifted a little bit. I am extra paranoid. There we go. I may not have fixed it, but feels like it did. There we go. Oh, that's too much. There we go. All right. So get her all shuffled up here. Overall, I really love this game, and I hope you do too. Okay. And we'll get Ant-Man shuffled up as well. So we'll go ahead and pull him out of his sleeve, put him down as Scott Lang. Yeah, you can definitely tell the difference between worn sleeves and not, so. Okay. Jason, why didn't you shuffle everything ahead of time? You know, life is just busy, man. Honestly, life just is busy. Shuffling is always the hardest part. And I see people like shuffling out here like this on YouTube and stuff, but I'm not as fast as some of them. So, and I guess with more practice and time, I'll get there. Oh man, very cool. Looks like we are good and mixed up. Put that there. Let me... do this as well. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Okay. Get this. Yeah. All right. As I mentioned, here we go. As mentioned previously, this is going to be Ant-Man versus Nebula. We've got an aggression deck here, and we're pretty excited about what's going on. If you guys are watching this after the fact, please hit that like button and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear how I could play this deck differently or how I could approach Nebula differently. So let's jump into it and find out. All right. So we've done all these setup except for discard the top 2 cards of the encounter deck and attach each technique attachment discarded this way to Nebula. Alright, so we've discarded none. So those get to sit off to the side there. And we'll flip this over. X is equal to the number of evasion counters on Nebula's ship. Okay. So we need to figure that out. She's going to start off with 2, with a threat of 6. Force interrupt when the villain phase begins. Place 1 evasion counter here. Shoot the thrusters. First player action, exhaust the Milano and spend up to 2 resources of any type. Remove 1 evasion counter from here for each resource spent this way. Okay, cool. The first technique attachment revealed each round gains surge. Okay. Force interrupt. When Nebula initiates an activation against you, resolve the special ability for each technique attachment in play. Then discard each of those attachments. All right. So let's draw into our hand. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 army of ants. And 2 surprise attacks. When you change form, deal 3 damage to an enemy, 4 if you spend a 5th resource doing this. No quarter, deal 4 damage to an enemy for each point of excess damage dealt this way, dealt to that enemy. For this attack, discard the top card of your deck and add an aggression red card. So cool, each excess. So this is really, I'm fighting minions there, so how many minions out right now? I could almost do a stupid amount of damage right off the bat. Let's see. Do I like this hand? Do I want to get rid of any of these cards? Not really, because I could play an army of ants. I wish I had another resource, but I don't. But I want to go and get my army of ants down, because those are nice just to have for ping damage for some different stuff. So, hold on to both of those. And we'll probably get 1 surprise attack down for 3 damage. Alright, so let's hold on to all of that, and we're going to drop no quarter off and just get 1 more card and see what we get. Professor X. Okay. So first things first, we'll exhaust the Milano to play Army of Ants. Everything up just a smidge. Need a little more room. And then we will use Professor X to play the other Army of Ants. We'll switch up to Giant. Spend a surprise attack to play surprise attack. She starts off with 14 health. So she just went down by 10, or by 4 to 10. What a fun card. When I go up to this form, she takes a point of damage. Just 3 more damage. And then force response. After a hero or villain does 3 or more damage to attached character with a single attack. So I did 4. Power Stone. There's Power Stone to the attacking hero or villain. Okay. So then the Power Stone becomes attached to Ant-Man. Who will now attack for 4 points of damage. That feels like a pretty powerful turn right off the bat. But aggression can be pretty powerful, so. Okay. That's everything I want to do on my turn. Do I want to hold on to Hope Summers? I think I'm going to discard Hope Summers for now. Well, hold on to Hope Summers. Let's see what else we draw. Resize. Home Technique, which we need to get on the field. And Queen Carrier. Alright. It's a tough call, but we got the Milano who's helping us some with resources and then some with this other stuff, so. We'll go from there. Let's ready everything back up because we got to get Home Technique down. Also, getting Queen Carrier down would be huge, but we'll figure that out. So, we are going to put 1 counter on Nebula's ship. Then we will, and that's after the villain phase begins, so we've got to take some of those counters off it every once in a while, which is interesting. Okay. It goes up by 1 because of the ship. So we got to keep an eye on threat and Nebula ship. And then when Nebula initiates an activation against you, resolve the special ability on each technique attachment in play. Okay. Then discard each of those attachments. Alright, so we don't have any techniques in play right now. So she's going to attack Ant-Man, which we are sitting, honestly, still at full health. At 12. So I'm not too terribly worried about being attacked. So I'll go ahead and take the hit. She's swinging for 2. Plus this boost. After this activation ends, attach this card to Nebula and resolve its special ability. Okay. So this gets attached to Nebula when we resolve its special ability. So we'll take 2 points of damage. Attached to Nebula. Reduce the amount of damage Nebula takes from each attack by 1 special. Discard 1 card at random from your hand. Wow, okay. So discard 1 card at random from my hand. That is annoying. So really hope that we're not getting Home Technique getting discarded here. I think I'm going to discard this one. Hope Summers. Okay. Alright, and that stays on her. We're going to get an encounter card. Freaking wide stance. And it's, of course, it's drawing near. Alright. Well. Poop. She didn't do enough damage to me for the Power Stone. So. But it reduces the amount of damage Nebula takes each attack by 1. Okay. So, start of my turn, discard the top card of my deck. One pursued by the pass counter. Okay. So we are going to, for sure, get Home Technique down on the table here. But to make that happen, we're going to have to pop Ant-Man for 4. We are then going to flip down to Tiny Form and remove 1 threat from the scheme. We're going to activate one of the Army of Ants to take her down to 2nd form. Oh, reduce the amount of damage from attacks. Okay, so she would have only taken 3 before, so she would be at 1 now. But we'll go ahead and pop both of our Army of Ants at the same time then. Just stack them together, which gets her down to 0. Because those don't count as attacks. Okay. She's on phase 2, which means she's at 17 health points now. Awesome. When Nebula initiates an attack, same kind of thing. And discard one of those attachments. Oh, wow. Okay, so now it's a difference because now we're choosing which one. We don't get a chance to do the rest. Interesting. Okay. We're going to go ahead and play Resize to change back to Giant Form. Which does a point of damage to her. And then, because of the response, and then we will go ahead and draw a card because that's what the card Resize says to do. All right, we drew into Ironheart. All right, we will spend the Milano. Queen Carrier and Ironheart to get Home Technique onto the table. I'm hoping to utilize that card. Just wanted to see how well it works. I've heard good things about it. All right. That is my entire turn. We'll go ahead and ready everybody back up. And draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I could use this as a mental resource to then do, oh man, mental or fist. So either way, it ends up being 4 here. So it's no big deal. Okay. So our next turn begins. This goes up to 2. This goes up to 4. So probably want to deal with that at some point soon too. Nebula is going to come in for an attack. She's swinging for 2 plus. I think we need to slow our roll a little bit. We'll discard. Not discard. We will defend. Draw. So her boost card is 2, 3. So we took no damage. The wide stance still activates. So you discard 1 card at random from your hand. Which is Gambit. And then I can choose to discard this card if I want to. So. Next, she will get an encounter card, which is a Treachery. Nebula attacks you. If damage is dealt by this activation, place 1 evasion counter on Nebula's ship. Okay. Well, poop, she's going to do damage to me. So, 2, 3. Give this villain an additional boost card for this activation. Oh, cool. Awesome. But that one's empty. So, 3 points of damage. Not terrible, definitely manageable. 2, 3, we're at 7. And we're back to our turn. Okay. Okay. We're going to flip down to Tiny. Remove 1 threat. We are then going to spin the Pim Particles to play Surprise Attack and deal 4 points of damage. And then 2 from Army of Ants. Because we spent Pim Particles while I was in Tiny, I get to draw a card, which is a mental resource. Oof. Okay, spend 2 resources of any type. Remove 1 evasion counter away from here for each resource spent this way. Oh, cool. Alright, so we'll go ahead and exhaust the Milano. We'll spend these 2. Drawing near also happened. So we got to deal with that here soon too. But we'll get rid of these counters here so they don't go up crazy high, because that was supposed to be at 3 actually, so we're down to 1. Okay. All right. And she did 3 damage to me, so she does have the Power Stone. Forgot about that. Are we going to be okay? I think so. Let's ready back up. Drop to our hand size, which is now 5. 1, there's our strength. 2, no quarter. 3, 4, 5. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we just won the game if we can just survive this round. So, first things first. This goes up to 2. This goes up to 5. Nebula's going to come in for an attack. We will defend. Defending for 2. She's swinging for 3. Plus this, after this activation ends, attach this card to Nebula and resolve the special ability. Okay. Alright. So this gets attached to Nebula. She gains Retaliate 1. But I gotta take 1 point of damage, so we're down to 6. Okay. Alright. We get an encounter card. Pirate Lackey. Comes in with Quick Strike, so I take 2 points of damage. After this many attacks and damages you, remove the top card of your deck from the game. Okay. 2 points of damage. Top card of my deck is Team Building Exercise and is removed from the game. Wow. Okay. Alright. It is my turn. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do full body charge. And I'm spending a mental resource to make that happen. Oh, wait, hold on. Yep. That's going to make it 12 with Hone Technique. So full body charge is now going to do 12. We will take out this Lackey, which gets Nebula down to 9. Nine hit points, so it gets her down to 1. Because she was at 10. Morning, Jacob. How are you? Welcome on in. And then we will activate our Army of Ants. And take out Nebula. What an incredibly fun deck, actually. Okay, so I've never used Hone Technique before, so that was a lot of fun. Nebula is very interesting to play against. Ant-Man was able to handle this well, though, which is really cool to see. Aggression itself is actually quite fun. There are some cards in here that I don't know if I would use again, like Toe-to-Toe. I didn't get really a chance to use. That full body charge is just brutal. No quarter. It would be interesting if I was dealing with more minions and stuff too. So I like this a lot, though. I'm curious if I could have survived against her in expert mode, because I've not ever played expert mode. I also got Hone Technique pretty quick. I barely saw any of his cards. And the Army of Ants really is just a stupid, strong card thing overall. Maybe should have taken 1 more point of damage because I did forget about Power Stone. But that wasn't removed from the game. It was just discarded. I find this quite interesting. These pirates are interesting too. The extra stuff that they can do, which makes them a lot more fun in other things to play as well. This is really well done, actually. I am quite content and satisfied with my care here. Nebula was fun. She's definitely a villain I would be willing to face again. And she is quite unique and just different comparatively overall. The Pursued by the Past would have gone off, but even then, maybe it wouldn't have been this double, though, would it? No, it would have been the double. but he doesn't have quick strike. So it wouldn't have made much of a difference overall. And this obligation was not terrible to just live with. So I find Ant-Man to be a great joy. And I will definitely keep playing Ant-Man in the long term as a Avenger that I'll just build and bring to the table for a fun game. So if you guys liked this, hit that like button. That'd be great. If you guys have any thoughts or anything that I could have done differently, please leave me a comment. And of course, you know, subscription's always appreciated. So let's keep moving, I guess. Let's see. I've got a little more time this morning. And I didn't have anything else prepared. Because sometimes these games just take forever to do. But I think Ant-Man himself is just super strong. But the games don't last super long. So that is a huge benefit to him. And his form switching is just incredibly good. So good. I think I'm going to have to start just preparing 2 things per stream from now on. Just to have a couple of things going for me. So, because we want our streams to last a little bit longer for sure too. I think, though, because it feels too like short to try to build the deck while we're streaming. I could run this scenario again, but I don't honestly feel like it. Good job, Ant-Man. You handled this well. So, I guess... I mean, there's always a chance to face another villain. But I think what I'm going to have to start doing is just building 2 separate hero decks and doing 2 separate things each time. So having 2 separate villains and 2 separate hero decks ready to go for per stream. So, and that's not a bad deal. That way I can do potentially two fights in one stream and not feel like I am rushing. So, or not feel like I am like wasting time. So, and there's some other decks that build a little bit longer and stuff too in the future. Yeah, and it gives me a chance to try some different stuff out. So the cool thing is next week the Shield box comes out in America, so I'll be able to pick that up and we'll be able to do some new scenarios that way. We've also got some new heroes coming along, and plus I got plenty of new heroes to test out and try. I've had a lot of fun with Ant-Man though. I think I'm going to be hopefully making a video here soon on like a review I have for Ant-Man. Just kind of talking about what I like and dislike about Ant-Man, how I feel about him. I've played him in each aspect now, and it's done it over the course of the month. So I think it's time to give Ant-Man a break and let him go into his box. And we will bust out some other heroes. If you're here listening, what are some heroes you would love to see? What are some characters you would like to see played on stream? So, you can actually, if you're watching this after the fact, don't be afraid to leave that in the comments below. I think I'm going to go... I'm going to go. Because this was a shorter stream, I guess, overall, which feels kind of weird. Stream here in a moment, so... Let's break Nebula down. Let's do that. And if you guys are here hanging out and want to chat, great. If not, then once Nebula's broke down, I'll figure it out from there what we're going to do next. So I'll probably just end stream from there and go on to the next thing. So because I've got a big event this weekend too, so that is something to consider. Actually, it's a huge thing to consider. Alright, just dividing some cards up here. I think what I will do is probably end stream. So. And then what I might want to start doing, which makes me a little nervous, is experimenting with expert mode. And I think I might start with that, with like some different stuff. So, because I've never played expert, so that's something to consider as well. Feels weird putting Ant-Man away. I've really enjoyed playing with him, but overall he's been a blast. So Nebula, seriously? She's 22 cards. Wow. Okay. Which I guess with all the techniques, you really need to like have those prepped and ready to go. Okay. Yep. Power Stone's ridiculously strong too. And I don't know if the Guardians set just made things easy with having that extra resource or not. That's something to consider as well. Because I feel like this was a lot easier than what I expected it to be. Again, I've not played her in expert. I've not played anybody in expert. So that's something I need to start messing around with. I think I've gotten good enough at this game that I can start doing some things in expert. But the ship command does make things definitely a lot easier in the long term. Like, I didn't even draw martial prowess. Like, this deck just flew. I don't know if that's like a normal thing. I feel like I just wasn't super worried the entire time about what would happen next. So that goes there. That does not go there. That goes there. But yeah, what a good time, guys. Thank y'all for hanging out. Alright. So what I think I will do next time, y'all, and I appreciate y'all hanging out, we will, since someone's kind of chatting right now, which is totally fair, everybody's just early morning, and I didn't warn anybody that I'll be streaming this morning too, so there's that as well. We will definitely be coming back to some heroes and stuff in the future. I think I'm going to go ahead and call stream for today, but I do appreciate you guys hanging out. So, hope you guys had a blessed day. My name's Jason Sketch, and I hope to see you all soon. Next time I'll be deadly serious next time. Peace.